Evertonians, hello. Welcome to Follow Everton. We're here to talk about the Chelsea versus Everton match, which is starting in 25 minutes' time. This is a little pre-match build-up show. Just let you know, Wes and Robbie, who normally do the pre-match show, they are away at the moment. They have been away for a little while. They'll be back in a few weeks' time. So until then, you will have me to join you. Sorry about that. As I did last week for a brief sort of reaction to the team news. So I have seen the team, and Idrissa Gay is coming into the side straight into midfield. Now, my initial reaction to this was I don't mind Gay in there for an away game against Chelsea, but if we're at home or we're playing a lesser opposition, I don't think the balance is there. I think we have too many defenders, and I think we struggle to then progress the ball from defence with Vitaly Mikalenko on the left and Jake O'Brien on the right. I think there's no pace there, and there's no ability to kind of distribute the ball well enough to get up the pitch, and that is my main concern when you have two defensive midfielders. So I think in other games, as we've seen when we got 3 wins in 4, having maybe one more attacking minded player in the midfield, if Jake O'Brien's at right back, helps. But if Garner's at right back, you can probably get away with two more defensive midfielders. I mean, it's not like we have them anyway, but that's just something I wanted to touch on. So Gay's come back in the team now. I would have liked to have seen some more involvement possibly from Alcaraz, because I don't think he's put a foot wrong. And I know some people in the comments have just talked about that, but Charlie Alcaraz is the one who drops out onto the bench. Now, Njai's playing his last game before AFCON, so we might need to give some minutes to some of the players that are going to be taking over his responsibility for the next month. We've got a lot of games, and it's time for Tyler Dibbling, £40 million signing, to step up and actually contribute. I don't want to see Alcaraz shoehorned on the right. I don't think that suits him. I think it'll be a massive, massive drop off if we start to do things like that. So I hope we're going to see some minutes for Tyler Dibbling at some point, not necessarily for Illiman, but how are we going to get him involved? I'm not so sure. Merlin Roll and Jared Branthwaite are in and around the group again. They're back on the grass. Hopefully, it's only a few weeks before we see them. I think we probably will see Merlin Roll in the next 7 to 10 days. His availability is imminent. Jared Branthwaite, we're looking like a new year. And I'll be honest, as good as Michael Keane's been, I'm putting him straight in the team because I think he's a player that can defend space, allows you to push up higher, allows your midfielders to get higher up the pitch. He can defend 1v1. He can cover the flanks. And as good as Michael Keane has been, I think the whole team has to play systematically different at times in their defensive approach to accommodate Keane because of his lack of pace and inability to defend space in behind or in front of him. So I want to see what people think in the comments about the match. So what are we expecting? Is there, if anyone's able to get the Chelsea team up, that would be great. I would appreciate it. I haven't had time to have a look at that. Um, in terms of the show today, so after the game, we will try and put something out. I've got an event at 7 o'clock. I need to be somewhere for 6. So I'm going to try and get on post match as well to give my thoughts on the game and hopefully don't get too wound up by this. Because Chelsea, for me, are a side that have shown a lot of inconsistency. They have been, I think they've not won in 4 games. And they have proven that you can get at them. Now, if we win, we actually go into the top 4 beyond Chelsea, and I think then serious questions will get asked of Chelsea, and Everton fans can really start to get excited. And also in terms of the January transfer window, we can go into the January transfer window with ambitions of kind of signing players to kick on and hopefully compete for Europe. So getting in and around that position 4, 5, 6, 7 come January will really help us in terms of recruitment, which is what we need. We're not doing a watch along. I don't even think the game is televised in the UK, so I don't know how you could kind of do that legally. I mean, I could just get a quick flight over to somewhere and do a watch along. What do you think, guys? Gas pipes. Hi, Kev. Let's stuff the Chelsea mob. What I found quite interesting, we haven't beaten Chelsea since 1996. David Moyes has never won at Stamford Bridge. The only time we actually did win there, I think, in a non-Premier League game, so I'm assuming that statistic was Premier League, was the 1-1 draw at the Bridge, and we won on penalties, Phil Neville scoring the decider. I'm going to go with 2012 or 20, could either be 2010, 11, or 12, but I'm going to say 2012 that was, because the white kit, and that's actually ironically what the kit that we're wearing today is just based on. So maybe we're going to have some sort of renaissance and get something out of the game today, similar as we did back then. So I'm just looking through the comments, keep them coming in. Wormy Spoons, one of our regulars. Hi, Wormy. F off Moyes. Stop dropping Alcaraz. I don't know whether you could play Alcaraz in this game away from home against Chelsea. I don't think we're going to have a lot of possession. But then I also see the point that Alcaraz is probably the best player in the Everton shirt for transitions in midfield, in central midfield areas. So um, I kind of see both sides. I think could be great on the counter attack later in the game with the transitions. But I think at the start, when we maybe have to contain Chelsea a little bit, I think having an extra sort of defensive minded player will help. Just going to keep looking through. This is a good point. Very, very guilty. The Leeds goal, which he handballed earlier in the season, the one last week, was it? He deflected it into his own net against Sunderland. And then there was another one where he was standing in front of Pickford. I think he just naturally thinks he's playing for Burnley. He's got to get on the line. You don't go and engage, block the shot. I was confident, but the closer we get to kick off, can we get the Chelsea team? Can someone put the Chelsea team up for me? I was confident, but the closer we get to kick off, the worse I feel. Appreciate that, Dan. It's a big game. You know, you're away from home, Chelsea, but we've broken a lot of records this season. We beat Manchester United for the first time in 12 years. We've beaten Bournemouth for the first time in the Premier League era, which was a disgraceful start, really, but we've put that right. So let's have a bit of confidence coming into the game that we can get something. I think Everton will turn up full of confidence, actually, with Jack Grealish, with Iliman and Jai, with the quality that they've shown with Dewsbury Hall on absolute fire, the solid base of midfielders. Pickford's going to need to have a decent game as well today. Yeah, and David be saying we may do well to get a draw, and I'll be honest, I probably would take a draw. I think we'd get a draw today. Would anyone else take a draw? Yeah, because people still go the games, Daniel, whether it's on television or not. People who want to go the game and could afford to do so still go. And people, the rest of us who can't, will do as they please. 1994, so it's an even longer wait without a win at the Bridge. Hi, Beresford. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Are you on your way to Chelsea? Yeah, this is the one that I think is contentious. I just don't think we progress the ball as well when Jake O'Brien's at right back. I think it's poor on the ball. It's like Mikalenko on the other side. And when James Garner's at right back, we look a lot more comfortable going forward. But I think in a game like this against really experienced wingers, the midfield too are actually going to have to be dragged across to help respective fullbacks and to cover the likes of Grealish and Njai to allow them to be high up the pitch. That's how I see it. I think Dewsbury Hall's going to sit deeper. I think Gay's going to cover the left. I think Garner's going to cover the right, and I think that will allow Grealish and Njai to be available to provide the quick counter attacks. Yeah, you could have easily put James Garner at right back, Alcaraz in the 10, and Dewsbury Hall in the 8, which has worked in 3 of the 4 last matches. What a result that would be if that happened. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Absolutely, but I think away from home at Leeds, under the atmosphere there, especially in the night games, it's proven to be quite difficult. You saw with Liverpool, we saw with us. So this is a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. They'll probably be seeing it as a bread and butter routine win. We've got to go and make it extremely difficult, be very aggressive, and pick the holes in their team. Thing about Chelsea is they're so fast. They play with so much speed. They have so much pace in every position. So we're relying on them to have an off day. We need to try and slow the game down, make it very difficult, be very aggressive, make them think twice about what they're going to do. And fucking Dan. Sorry, Daniel. I don't normally do the pre-match show, do I? So I don't know whether that was a thing with Robbie and Wes calling him Dan and getting annoyed. Comments a boss. Roy Nixon. Hi, Roy. He says, if we get stuck in from the first minute, everything is possible. They blow hot and cold. They do. We don't know what Chelsea they're going to get. We need to try and do our best to quieten the crowd quickly, try and slow the pace of the game down, try and frustrate them. I need the Chelsea team. I think Mr. Blue Skies is providing it. Thank you, Mr. Blue Skies. I'm going to do a little scroll down. Thank you so much. So in goal for Chelsea is Sanchez at right back, Marlon Gusto. That's an interesting one because I know Reece James is their number one right back, but he's been playing in midfield for them. Fofana, Wesley Fofana, signed from Leicester. Chalobah, who's a mad one. He's an enigma. He went to Crystal Palace. They got rid of him at Chelsea, and then they brought him back from Palace. So that was bizarre. I don't know whether it was because he was playing well, but he's found himself in the first team at Chelsea. Seems to make a lot of mistakes. Seems to be the one that you can get at defensively, but then chips in with goals and does some good things. So he's a mad one. Cucurella, of course, he's an outstanding left back and he's a bit of a knobhead as well. I would be desperately trying to get him booked early on. That's on Illiman and Jai to run at him, and I don't think he's as natural on the right side of midfield at the build up. I think Njai needs to have license to drift into midfield and to get up front, and I think then you need the right back over bombing, and we just don't have anyone to do that. So there's some dysfunction here, and a way to kind of level up, but it's going to be difficult. Enzo Fernandez in that midfield, the Argentinian international, World Cup winner, of course, £100 million player. It's going to be very difficult. He's going to try and dictate the play with his technical quality, and Reece James adds a mix of everything in there as well. Pedro Neto on the left side of midfield. He's absolutely rapid. Actually, that's a bit of a weird one. Oh, Palmer in the 10. This is a good team. This is a really good team. And if we take our Everton tinted glasses off, we would probably expect to lose this. Pedro, he has the pace, he has dribbling, he has shooting, he can do a bit of everything. We have to try and out physical him. We have to try and out physical Garnacho as well. He'll probably play on the left side of midfield, cutting in on his right foot, get stuck into him, make it very difficult. Cole Palmer apparently carrying some sort of groin issue. So he's playing some weeks and not others. Can we go in physical on him and make him second guess what he's putting himself in for? And Neto, but is our team the most physical? I mean, Jack Grealish and Jai, they're good at holding on to the ball. Dewsbury Hall, they're very tenacious, I suppose. Need to stop Cole Palmer shooting from outside the box. Jacob Bryan's basically going to get pinned back the whole game, isn't he? By Neto. He's not going to want to get in a foot race with him. I love you guys. You've all got a bit of a clique in the comments, haven't you? You've been talking to each other for 4 years now, a lot of you, on Follow Everton. Let's have a look. Keep the comments coming in. Yes, and this is what I said about Chalobah, but I think Cucurella's improved. I think Gusto's good. I think a lot of players are very forward-minded, so it's about trying to um, expose them, trying to punish them when they overcommit players forward. I don't think the keeper's that good, but he'd probably have the game of his life against us now. What a story would this would be if Dewsbury Hall He was my Premier League Player of the Month. Didn't win it, of course, because he wasn't wearing an Arsenal shirt. But I think he's the one for Everton today that I think is going to be massive. If he puts in a good performance, I think Everton are going to go far in this game. No injuries, pace, dribbling, strength, center of gravity. We're fucked, I think. Yeah, they dropped him midweek, Craig, didn't they? I think, and then he said that he's playing him, and then he's going to drop him, and then he's going to play him, and he's going to drop him. But it is typical, Craig. I do find it very odd, but for them, it's a massive game. They need it's a 6 pointer. This we go above them if we win. We slip further away from them if we lose, and that's why I'd take a draw all day long here. Yeah, because neither of our fullbacks are going to cope well today, and the midfielders are going to get dragged across to cover. Other than that, Njai and Grealish are basically going to spend the whole game as left right wing back and right wing back, with Jacob O'Brien tucked in very narrow to defend the cross. Yeah, but we did beat them 2-0 the same season, didn't we? They beat us 6-0. Apparently, my daughter Poppy is watching the television, and I'm on it. Hello, Poppy. Let's have a look. I think they won't underestimate us today. Yeah, well, they'll be expecting to win. Just looking through the comments. This is one thing that I want to see Everton improve today. Jack Grealish got his goal against Bournemouth, but he does at times seem allergic to shooting. He gets into good positions and then wants to pass to Barry, who, yeah, he scored last week, but he's not prolific. Hasn't proven to be prolific. And so take your chance, Grealish. Take your shots, make things happen. It's in a game like this against Chelsea. The England manager will probably be watching it, given the amount of English players in the involved for both teams. Palmer, Reece James, Chalobah. So the England manager will be watching. Jack Grealish has got to impress. The shirt is there for grabs. Gordon's not having a good season at Newcastle, apart from in the Champions League. And Marcus Rashford was on the bench for Barcelona. He's got 2 goals for them, and they're a table-topping side, so he should be getting a lot more. I think Everton, with Grealish, he should be now trying to get a few goals, get an assist today, and try and cement his place in that England team. And I'd love Barry to get another goal. I'm liking that positive thinking, Daniel. I think Mikalenko can do, as long as his starting position is good, but Neto is very quick, and it depends what side he's going to play on. But I think it will be on the right. This is correct. Be intrigued to know how many assists he's got, Daniel, because if he's got a lot of assists, then that might change the complexity. So, 5 minutes or so to kick off. We're going to have maybe another minute left. I just want to know what everyone's predictions are. How do we think the game is going to pan out? What is the script of the match? Will Everton get something today? Who will score? Who won't score? What sort of substitutions are you expecting? I'd like to know what people are thinking. Of course, Liverpool also playing Brighton, so be nice if we can get at least a point today and they can lose, and we can just. I really want to go into Christmas above them. That would be really good. And Kevin, yeah, about Arsenal. But Arsenal, they don't seem to be able to beat anyone who are in the top half of the table. They seem to struggle against all these other teams. So just very quickly, just one more opportunity. Just want to see what people are saying, what they think the score will be, and then we're going to get this wrapped up. And I will see you briefly for 10, 15, 20 minutes at full time with hopefully one or two other members of Follow Everton. As I mentioned before, Robbie and Wes, just on a short break for a few weeks. Wes is going to New York. So those shows will be back soon, those pre-match shows. But for now, I'm doing my best to make sure we've got some content out before the game and, of course, after, as always. Okay, we'll just these final comments to wrap things up. Tazul, I'm disappointed if we don't get a point today. I think that's based on the form, but I think Chelsea are a different kettle of fish to the other teams we've faced. I think they're more similar in style to Newcastle. And Eugene McGee, who will have to leave it with this one. Eugene is saying that Everton will win 4-1 away at Chelsea. Jack Grealish, Barry, and Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Wow, what a prediction. If that comes off today, then Eugene, you're going to be buying the drinks for everyone. Nice to see you all, and we'll see you on the next show. Oh, I think he's playing. The Everton site said he's playing, so we'll soon find out. See you soon. Up the toffees.